introduce my boss, Mrs. Obaro, and the vision behind the school and the efforts to enable young Nigerians to really be successful. Ms. Obaro. Don't forget to turn on your microphone. There you go.
Good afternoon, everybody. And thank you very much, Mr. Hanley, for your kind words. My name is Abby Obaro, the president of Maple Education Canada. A lot of people ask me, how did I get this idea? And I'll tell you my story. I have 5 children, and all 5 of them are grown up. But in 1997, we migrated to Canada as permanent residents. I remember the day we left Lagos. We had there were 7 of us with 2 suitcases each. So we had 14 suitcases. And we were going to this brand new country that we didn't know much about. But our plan was to get to, our children good quality education in a country where we felt they would be safe. We already knew at that time that Canada was a very peaceful country. Racism is at its minimal level, and Canada still is a peace-loving country. So that was why we chose to go there. And we got there and we were not disappointed. It took me a while to settle down. Being in a strange place, you wonder, what can I achieve at this age? By the way, I was 40 years old then. But as time went on, all 5 of our children were doing well academically in school. The youngest started from grade 5, and the oldest, grade 11. So we saw them go through, some of them through elementary, and all went through high school and university in Canada. Don't forget, we left in 1997. Some of you were not even born then. I don't think Olaolu, Oyinkan, they were not born. So I came back 5 years after to Nigeria. I had not been home at all. So when I came to establish our company, the first thing I did was go to the embassy and introduce myself. Yeah, my name is blah, blah, blah. This is my idea. I want to start recruiting Nigerian students in Canadian schools. So I saw the then Deputy High Commissioner in Lagos. And he sat me down for more than an hour and was asking me questions. Why do you think Nigerian students will study in Canada? I said, why do you think Nigerian students will not study in Canada? And he said, well, Canada is far, it's cold. I said, that means you don't know Nigerians. Nigerians love good quality education. And Canada, to me, at that time, and even up till now, I felt was the best place for them to go to. Well, I convinced the Deputy High Commissioner that Canada had a product, which is education, that they were not promoting. And guess what? I got all the support that I needed from them. They attended all our seminars the first time in 2001 in Lagos, in Abuja, and in Port Harcourt. And 120 students registered. See, this was the first time that a Canadian company would come to Nigeria to promote Canadian education. Today, the rest is history. Canada is now a destination for Nigerian students, and a lot of people don't even know how it started. So our parent company, Maple Education Canada, recruits students from Nigeria. Yes, Mr. Hanley?
I just wanted to mention that my son works in the Canadian university sector, and he's telling me that Nigerians that out of all the countries in the world that send students to Canada, Nigeria is number five. So the fifth biggest group of students coming into Canada are from Nigeria. So they're very, very important to the Canadian post-secondary system. Sorry, just wanted to mention that. So the fruits of those labor really have benefited Canada.
Thank you very much for that addition. So Maple Education Canada is our parent company, and we started and we still recruit students from Nigeria to Canadian schools. We represent over 60 Canadian schools, high schools, colleges, and universities. Not only that, our company has 4 certified Canadian immigration consultants assisting students to obtain their study permit. In Canada, if you are not a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, and also a certified Canadian immigration consultant, you are not allowed to represent anybody before the High Commission. So there are 4 of us, 2 based in Nigeria and 2 in Canada. So when we get our students across to Canada, we are always there supporting them in study permit extension, post-graduation work permit, and permanent resident visa. Olaolu sent me a mail wanting to know if we provide immigration services to parents of our students. We do. We have a discounted visa processing fee for family members of our students. And when I say family members, I mean parents and siblings. We also assist our students get permanent residence in Canada when they finish. So we are with them from the beginning to the end. So why Maple Canadian College? What's the brain behind that? Why did we have to set up this school in Nigeria? I remember probably about 15 years ago, the then Nigerian High Commissioner to Canada in Ottawa challenged me. He said, you know, Mrs. Obaro, we get a lot of young kids coming to Canada, and some of them are not coping academically, some are dropping out of school, some are depressed. And he felt it wasn't a good idea for 15-year-old kids to go far away as Canada to start their university education. And that we should try and set up a college in Nigeria for them to start and then proceed to Canada. At that point, I thought, wow, I wasn't prepared for that. I thought this is something that would be very expensive to achieve. But we looked at it again because we sent so many students to Canada and we know how they are performing. And we discovered that he was right. Our students with WAEC results who went straight to university without bridging that gap had a lot of issues. For instance, Onyikon, I hope Onyikon is still here. She's 16 years old, going to University of Winnipeg. She probably has the West African School Certificate. When she gets to the University of Winnipeg, she's going to be facing a completely different educational system where nobody is going to be dragging you by your hands and monitoring you or supervising you. And if there is a gap in your education, it's going to show up very, very quickly. And before you know what is happening, our students are dropping out, changing courses, not doing well. And when this happens, they stop talking to their parents, they stop communicating, some of them go into depression. But if you are a very hardworking student, you might be able to cover that gap, but you have to work extremely hard. So that has been our observation. So we set up Maple Canadian College here in Nigeria. We started last year, September 2019. So what is this school all about? We offer two programs, grade 11 and 12. So Maple Canadian College is the grade 11 and 12 university prep college designed to bridge the gap between the Canadian high school diploma and the West African Examination Council syllabus. Students with WASC, IGCSE, and SS2 will be accepted into our grade 12 10 months program, while students who completed SS1 will start from grade 11. I hope that is clear. So if you have your WAEC result, you have finished SS2, you can join our grade 12 class or you have your IGCSE. The IGCSE is a British curriculum. So it ends at year 11. So you can join us in September. But we have some parents who want their children to come from SS1. Then you have to do 11 and 12. That's 2 years. And our students enroll in a global top university prep program of the Ontario Ministry of Education without having to leave the shores of Nigeria. Mr. Hanley talked about the Ontario Secondary School Program, the OSSD, which is recognized globally. So at MCC, we operate 2 semesters, with the first semester starting from September to January, and the second semester from February to June each year. Each blend of real world content, interactive multimedia, just a second, interactive multimedia, exercises, and collaborative activities to promote not only important concepts, but also to develop the essential academic skills needed to succeed in any university abroad. The Ontario Secondary School Diploma, which our students get, is highly regarded and accepted by top universities all over the world. And the admission processing for our students to foreign universities start at the end of the first semester when they obtain their transcripts from the Ontario Ministry of Education. I already talked about Maple Education Canada, the parent company to Maple Canadian College, that has affiliation with over 60 schools in Canada. So during our school year, we invite foreign universities to our campus to meet with our students. Within the first semester, I think about 20 universities were in our school, from Canada, United Kingdom, Australia, US, United States. They were at our school. So our students had a direct conversations with these universities. So they know what obtains in these places. So our students get their offer of admission at the end of the first semester. So admission processing for our students started in February, and we are proud to say that all of them got accepted into various universities without any exception. As early as March, this year, admission letters were issued to some of them. You can see the list of universities that our students got into. University of Waterloo, which constantly ranks as the best overall university in Canada. McMaster University, University of Alberta, University of British Columbia, University of Waterloo, Alberta, McMaster, UBC are always in the top 5. University of Saskatchewan, Dalhousie, Carleton University, University of Victoria, University of Ottawa, Lakehead University, Trent University, University of Manitoba, Ontario Tech University, Humber College, Fraser International College, a pathway to Simon Fraser University. So some students opted for that because they will start their first year university in Fraser International College and they move to their second year in Simon Fraser University, which has always ranked as the #1 comprehensive university in Canada. Then we have Grand Prairie Regional College. It's affiliated to University of Alberta. So it's possible to go in there, do 2 years of university coursework, and then transfer to University of Alberta and do 3rd year and the 4th year. One of our students opted for United Kingdom, and she got her admission based on her OSSD results. So over 50% of our students have scholarships based on academic excellence. So these scholarships come when you make an application, and when they look at your grades, they offer you that scholarship even without applying. Some got $12,000, $8,000, and University of Alberta even gave additional scholarships to 2 of our students. So now, how do we prepare our students for the visa processing? Remember I told you that we have 4 immigration consultants in our company. 2 are here in Lagos, and we work directly with the students to get their documents ready for submission. So as early as November last year, we had a meeting with the parents of our students to prepare them because there are documents that they have to submit. So they knew way ahead of time what to do. So there are 2 parts to this visa processing. Students on one side and the sponsors on the other side. So both must submit documents. And what is required of the student? Student is the person that's traveling. So we need an admission letter, academic transcripts, testimonials, and other relevant documents to show that the student is a bona fide student. And for the sponsors, could be parents or other family members that are closely connected with the student. They have to provide bank statements. And this has to be convincing. The visa officers have to be convinced that the sponsor has enough funds to pay for the school fees, accommodation, and feeding for 1 year for the student. So if, for instance, your school fees is about $30,000 and accommodation is $15,000, that's what $5,000. I put an extra $5,000 for medical insurance, books, and pocket money. That bank statement must show at least $50,000. So the visa documentation starts in April of every year. We have to start on time. Remember, admission processing started early. By April, all our students had admission, even though they are still in school. They haven't finished. They don't have their high school diploma yet. Their first semester result was enough to get them conditional offers. So by April, We started visa documentation, and as I speak, we submitted all the applications for visa. Our students are represented by our in-house certified Canadian immigration consultants in the submission of the application to Canada or any other country. Remember, our slogan says, start here, go anywhere. The OSIS certificate can get you to any country in the world. But I think our students prefer Canada. That's why 96% of them chose Canada as their destination. This is an icing on the cake. We arrange for our students to travel as a group. And we also, especially the ones going to Canada, we follow them. So we make group bookings, which is way cheaper. So parents can be saving. I remember there was a year that the ticket was about 400,000 naira to Canada, and one parent was very reluctant. And by the time he was ready to buy his son's ticket, the ticket was over $1 million. So you can see the difference in the price. Of course, it was too late for the child to join our group. So we fly with our students, and the reason why we do that is because we have the numbers. 2, we want to get them cheaper flights. And 3, when we get to Canada, we do an orientation. We don't just say, oh, bye-bye, go to wherever you're going. We stop over for 3 days in a good hotel, and we do 3 days orientation so that they will understand where they are, the educational system of Canada, and not only that, get to talk to some of our students who are already in Canada on different topics. We talk about relationships, we talk about money, we talk about how to succeed, how to become permanent residents, who to approach if your study permit is expiring, so many topics. Not only that, we go sightseeing too. Go to Wonderland, CN Tower, shopping. At the end of the 3rd day, our students now fly to their various universities. Some as far as Vancouver, some to Winnipeg, some are based in Ontario, some go to Alberta. And within those 3 days, they build a lot of confidence that, yeah, it's possible we can succeed. We've spoken to those who came before us. There's networking going on. And a lot of universities have testified to the fact that Maple students come better prepared than other students that come with other agents. So our 3 days orientation is very important. We've done this right from day one. So I'm going to play 2 videos, parents' testimonials of, these are parents whose children are still with us. I'll play this.
Regarding, MCC and how they have been able to effectively, prepare when it comes to language. So I realized that a lot of children, we shield them, they are protected here in Lagos, and then we throw them into the Canadian system all alone. So in view of that, I decided to look for a school that could at least model her and ease that transition. People has been able to do is build her. She's come out of her shell. This is technically her first in Canada, but only in the Nigerian environment. I actually got what I was looking for. For me, I say soft landing. And even the culture shock. Most parents don't realize how that impacts on a child. I would say they have exceeded my expectations. If they have done exceedingly well, and I would recommend it to any parent. Regarding MCC and we
we are Mr. and Mrs. Makantu de Kure.
Yeah, actually, we got the recommendation for MCC from my friend in Canada. One thing we found very much peaceful with the school is the blended learning model, the online and the classroom. It's not something that's so common around here. And with this pandemic, it didn't cost us anything because it was easy to switch from classroom to the online, you know.
Exactly what I'm seeing with the MCC. I'm so much inspired and happy with the way my daughter is pushing.
She's quite young, you don't want her to stay so far from the home. But with MCC, we are very happy, and I've even talked to my friends about it, and I recommend the school to any parents out there.
Okay. I don't know if some people have questions for me. Any questions? Okay. Olaolu, I know you are very good at asking questions.
Thank you, Ma. I have my mom here.
I'm sure you have questions.
And
Hi.
I see.
Oh, finally.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Well done.
We're very
Thank
impressed by your son, I have to tell you. He's been to each
Oh.
one of these sessions and he always asks intelligent questions.
Thank you.
We're very hopeful that we get to have him at our school next year.
Yes, I read up about you and Mrs. Obaro as well. You know, your vast experience in education. And I believe that this is yet the beginning for you. And we're proud of you and the work you're all doing.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. As I tell everyone, you know, I receive much more from the students than I give to them. They're just fabulous people. So it's really been an incredible experience. And not only the students, but folks like Miss Obaro and Miss Fatima, who's here. And I also want to call out, we have Mr. Iowole. I just call him Praise's dad. Praise is one of our students. I was going to say one of our favorite students, but they're all favorites. But Praise is actually a very special student. Such a positive attitude. But welcome, Praise.
Thank you. Dad. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. I think I visited you about 6 years ago when one of our sons was going to go to, we're trying to get him to year 12 as well, you know. But I think you had a seminar that you invited Manitoba University, you know. And I came in, I saw some of your staff and they were able to counsel us, you know, regarding it. But somehow we just want, you know, our son to do Canada. You know, he's our last son. So, and we want him to do Canada. So that's why we're coming through this route.
Well, I think that actually, let's let Praise's dad speak to his experience.
Thank you, Roger. Madam, I can assure you of one thing. Praise is my first and only son, and when he finished IGCSE, we were like, okay, what's next? Where is he going from here? And about that time, I saw Ms. Obaro on, I think it's TVC, and he presented MCC. Of course, before then, I know Maple Education. But of course, the moment I saw that presentation, I told my wife, this is where your son is going. and I didn't bother to look elsewhere. My colleague was saying, Mr. Iwali, you are too rigid. I said, this is where my son is going, and that was it. Long story short, we're here today. Of course, Praise has gotten admission. We're waiting for his visa to come out. And more importantly, what he got from MCC is a big transition. Praise was somebody who was never rested. You know, when a child is restless. But less than 10 months in MCC, wow, he's now a man of the house. You need to see him control things. I tell you, we compete at home now, but I think I love it. You know, it's what every parent wants in their children's life, and I think MCC has done that. Kudos to Roger, kudos to Mr. Barrow, and of course the teachers. Wow, the way they handle these boys and even the girls, you'll be amazed. They treat them like equals, and these children love them. Each time Praise talks about his teachers, wow, you'll be like, and this morning we're still discussing, and it was like, why didn't I love maths before now? I said, probably you're biased about your teacher now. He loved maths more than anything now. They used to say maths is difficult. I say maths is not difficult. I'm an accountant, I know. But because of presentation, and I think I want to say thank you to Mr. Barrow. Thank you, Roger. We will continue to sing the song. Maple Canadian College. Of course, you are the best. Thank you very much. Madam, please just give your son to them, and they will give you a better child. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those thoughtful words. Thank you for raising such a fine gentleman that you have. Praise is just a great kid. Every morning I'll be standing in the foyer of the school talking to students, and all of a sudden from behind me I feel a bear hug, and I always know it's Praise. So since the middle of March, when I had to come back to Canada, I've missed Praise and his peers so much, but one day soon.
Sure.
Okay, Olalu, I'm waiting for your question.
Okay, yes. The question was, supposing a student, okay, you mentioned that a student chose to go to the United Kingdom. Supposing, okay, yes, would that student still have access to the same immigration services available to other students going to Canada?
No. You know, we are Canadian immigration consultants, not British.
Okay.
So our immigration services is for only Canada. So our students that go to Canada get so much help from us. Right?
Okay.
Canada is also a better destination because international students can work while studying. When they graduate, irrespective of their program of studies, even without a job offer, they can get 3 years post-graduation work permit and then qualify to apply for permanent residence. And students have their own special stream. We call it international student stream. They can either apply under the Canadian experience class, which is for international students who have at least 1 year work experience after graduation. They can apply through what we call the Provincial Nominee program for students who students who graduated in a particular province. You can apply to that province for permanent residence and get approved. And once they get that approval, it carries a lot of points, and they can use that to apply for permanent residence. And then we have the Federal Skilled Worker Program through the express entry. Somebody did mention express entry. I don't know if it was you. So students have 3 application processes to become permanent residents, and we are there to help our students achieve all that. We've done that for a lot of students, actually. And our fees for study permit extension, post-graduation work permit are very, very, very minimal. We don't charge professional fees. You just pay application fees and a little admin fee.
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. Then just a continuation, if you don't mind, from the email I sent. You explained that parents, you also provide these services for parents that want to come over.
Yes.
After the parents come over, are there, like, would you say that there are job opportunities for parents or siblings, for example?
I didn't hear your question. I think my internet is a bit unstable. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Am I clear?
Can you repeat your question?
Okay. My question was in your email, in the reply you gave me in your email, you stated that you also provide services, immigration services to parents. And today you also mentioned that you provide for siblings as well. So I wanted to find out whether after a parent has been able to get permanent residence or a sibling in Canada, are there also job opportunities for that parent or for that sibling over there?
Okay. All right. Now, let's say Olaolu gets a study permit to Canada and his parents want to visit with his siblings. We do that application at a discounted fee. That application is a visitor's visa application or a temporary resident visa, as they call it. So it's for the parents and the siblings to visit temporarily. All right. Now, parents can also apply for permanent residence if they are eligible. Like your parents, if they're eligible and they want to migrate, we can assist them. So what we do is an assessment to find out if they are eligible through any one of the programs that are available for foreign nationals. It could be through Federal Skilled Worker Program. It could be a business program. There are people who want to go as entrepreneurs or as investors, all right? A student cannot apply for permanent residence for their siblings. It's not possible. But when a student becomes a permanent resident, he or she can apply for the parents under parents and grandparents visa. So it's possible for you to apply for permanent residence for your parents. That is when you become a permanent resident yourself.
Ma, how long will it take for a student to become a permanent resident?
Let's say you study for 4 years and get your degree, right? That's 4 years. Then you apply for post-graduation work permit, you get 3 years. And then within these 3 years, maybe you acquire 1 year work experience or 2, you can begin to apply for permanent resident, depending on how many points you have. So let's say 4 for studying, 3 for post-graduation work permit. Let me add 1 more year. So in 8 years, maximum, you should be a permanent resident.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, ma.
But if you do a master's degree, there's a program for master's degree holders in Ontario where you can apply for permanent residence through the Provincial Nominee program of Ontario once you finish your master's. So maximum is 8 years. And a lot of parents are not even ready to migrate to Canada in 8 years. Your parents might tell you, I'm not ready to go now. I need to work, make money to pay your school fees. But by the time they are ready, you would have, you'll be in a better position to apply for them.
Okay.
All right? Yeah.
Thank you.
We've had cases where parents of our students are migrating through the application process of that their kids made for them.
Okay.
Any other question? Okay. Clear. Mr. Hanley?
Yes.
Yes. You want to add to this?
Appreciate your time and hope everyone has a good
Thank
afternoon.
you so much.
Yeah, thanks for coming.